Hey guys, in today's video I want to show you how you can use a flanger to create some nice vocal sounds. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit that notification button, drop a like, leave a comment with suggestions. I'm working on a track called Work. The artist is Modest. Go check him out, really talented. You can support him. You will notice that the verse has two sections. One mixed like a usual vocal and the other one very processed.
Been a year since I started this. Had some fears about starting this. Start my career cause I wanted this. Yeah. Been a year since I started this. Had some fears about starting this. Start my career cause I wanted this. Yeah.
I want to focus my attention on the second part of the verse. This part right here.
Start my career cause I wanted this. Yeah.
I really enjoy this sort of sound, and I think that you can achieve some interesting movements and some interesting dynamics inside the actual verse. Sometimes what I like to do, instead of adding automation, I duplicate the track and process that. Now let me bypass everything.
Yeah. Wanted this. Yeah.
Pretty boring. Now let me show you the processing. I'm using buses to process the vocals. A verse bus, the processing is the same, so why have the same processing on two tracks when I can have it on a bus? This track goes to this bus, and this bus goes to the main vocal bus. First I have a low cut, just removing some of that low rumble. Then I have Antares Autotune Pro doing the pitch correction. As you can see, I'm using the flex time, so it's not sounding that heavily processed. It's more subtle, still very obvious, but more subtle.
Yeah.
On the actual verse bus I have a de-esser, then I have an EQ, a compressor.
Start my career cause I wanted this. Yeah.
C6, this is a multi-band compressor.
Wanted this. Yeah. Start my career cause I wanted this.
RVox, adding some more compression.
Start my career cause I wanted this.
As you can see, it's very subtle. Another de-esser, this one is at different frequencies.
Start my career cause I wanted this.
This is the processing on the verse. On the main vocal bus I have a CLA 2A.
Start my career cause I wanted this. Yeah.
It's not even touching the compressor. Spiff, removing some of that clicks. Mag EQ from Plugin Alliance, adding some top end at 10K. Then I've done some more corrective stuff with a dynamic EQ.
Start my career cause I wanted this. Yeah.
Now let me show you what I have as sends. Main verse bus, parallel compression, CLA 76, low attack, fast release, all in buttons, quarter of a note delay. That's sounding something like this.
Start my career cause I wanted this. Yeah.
As a reverb I have Valhalla Vintage Verb.
Start my career cause I wanted this.
Okay, so now let's move to the creative part. Let me loop that part of the track.
Yeah.
I've added a flanger. This is a very old plugin, Meta Flanger from Waves.
Yeah.
I've used a preset from Dave Pensado, and this is how it sounds.
Yeah.
Let me increase the stereo.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. You can achieve some really wide vocal sound by using flangers. After the flanger, I've decided that I want a big reverb, Valhalla Vintage Verb.
Yeah.
Last in the chain is a corrective EQ, doing some cutting.
Yeah.
I have a delay throw on it, echo boy, half of a note, ambient style, a reverb after the delay, and it's the same preset as the one inserted here. I've used it as an insert because sometimes I change the order. For example, I use the reverb first, then I use the flanger after the reverb. That delay throw is automated. It's not playing in the first section, it's just in the last part.
Yeah.
I have another send distortion parallel chain. Let me show you what that does.
Yeah.
So pretty nasty, but I've used it in a subtle way. As you can see, I have the fader at -10. I have a Haas effect just to make it very wide, left, right, with a short delay between the channels. This is Saturn from FabFilter. Last, I've used an EQ.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this sounds really cool when used on ad-libs, on certain words. It just gives a different sound, a different feel to that section of the track. Sometimes I use the Waves Meta Flanger. It has a certain sound that I like. Studio One Flanger, pretty decent. You can use this. It has some nice presets. For example, this slow flange. If we reduce the depth, you can get a similar result. But one of my favorite plugins is the Valhalla Space Modulator. It has a lot of presets, control over the sound. So that preset is very obvious, but it's very nice. You can use the flanger after the reverb. The decay of the reverb will be modulated by the flanger. Something like that. Try with the original flanger. So you have two different flavors. This is a nice way to create some movement, to create a signature sound. I really enjoy using flangers on reverbs or on the actual parts, just small section of the tracks. I can say that I'm a flanger guy. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, hit that notification button, drop a like, leave a comment with suggestions. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. Join our Facebook group, it's called Mix Talk. See you guys next time.